If you are over 60 and living with joint pain, stiffness, or difficulty moving, let me tell you something important. Relief may already be sitting in your kitchen. Yes, I'm talking about extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. These are not just cooking fats. These oils can reduce inflammation, support joint lubrication, and improve mobility when used correctly. Most people focus on painkillers, injections, or supplements, but they ignore the daily oils that silently decide whether their joints heal or hurt. As we age, one of the most common questions I hear is why joints that once moved freely now feel stiff, painful, and resistant to motion. Answer in most cases is not wear and tear alone. It is inflammation, quiet, chronic, often driven by daily dietary choices. Among those choices, extra virgin olive oil stands out as one of the most powerful yet underestimated tools for joint health after 60. This is not folklore or tradition, this is biochemistry. Extra virgin olive oil contains a unique compound called oleocanthal, which has been shown to act in a way remarkably similar to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications. The difference is that this effect occurs naturally without damaging the stomach, kidneys, or cardiovascular system. When seniors regularly consume extra virgin olive oil, they are not just adding flavor to food, they are delivering a steady signal to the body to calm inflammation at its source. What makes this especially important is how inflammation behaves with age. As metabolism slows and insulin resistance increases, the body becomes more prone to inflammatory reactions, particularly in joints where cartilage is already vulnerable. Extra virgin olive oil helps interrupt this process. Its rich supply of monounsaturated fats improves insulin sensitivity, which indirectly reduces inflammatory markers circulating through the bloodstream. Less insulin resistance means fewer inflammatory chemicals attacking joint tissue. This is why many people notice that morning stiffness eases when olive oil becomes a consistent part of their diet. It is not magic, it is metabolic correction happening quietly in the background. Another often overlooked benefit of extra virgin olive oil is its impact on blood vessels that supply the joints. Joints do not heal well when circulation is poor. Olive oil improves endothelial function, allowing blood vessels to relax and deliver oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. Better circulation means better cartilage nourishment and improved removal of inflammatory waste products. If you have ever wondered why your joints feel worse after long periods of inactivity, the answer lies partly in reduced blood flow. Olive oil supports the very system that keeps joints alive and responsive. There is also a protective effect happening at the cellular level. The antioxidants in extra virgin olive oil, particularly polyphenols, help neutralize oxidative stress. Oxidative stress accelerates cartilage breakdown and speeds up joint degeneration. When seniors rely on refined or overheated oils, oxidative damage increases. When they choose extra virgin olive oil, actively slow that damage. This is one reason populations that traditionally use olive oil as a primary fat tend to maintain mobility later in life. Joints are not constantly under attack. However, the way olive oil is used matters just as much as choosing it. Extra virgin olive oil is most effective when used raw or at low to moderate heat. High heat destroys the very compounds that make it therapeutic. Drizzling it over cooked vegetables, salads, or soups preserves its anti-inflammatory power. Even a small daily amount, used consistently, can shift the inflammatory balance of the body over time. This is not about excess, it is about precision. Many seniors search for relief through supplements, Injections or pain medications overlook the daily choices that quietly determine whether inflammation resolves or persists. Extra virgin olive oil works slowly, steadily, and deeply. It does not mask pain. It changes the environment that creates pain. When joints are supplied with the right fats, inflammation settles, stiffness eases, and movement feels more natural again. Aging does not demand constant discomfort. Sometimes the most effective intervention is not found in a pill bottle, in a simple, deliberate change made at every meal. As joint discomfort increases with age, many people assume the solution lies in stronger medications or invasive procedures, yet the real issue often sits much earlier in the chain. Joint pain after 60 is closely tied to chronic inflammation and metabolic stress, and one of the most overlooked contributors to this process is the type of fat used for daily cooking. Avocado oil plays a unique role here because it supports joint health while remaining stable under conditions that would otherwise trigger inflammation. Unlike many commonly used oils, avocado oil maintains its structure even at higher cooking temperatures, which means it does not easily break down into inflammatory byproducts that quietly damage joint tissue over time. When oils are heated beyond their stability point, they oxidize and form compounds that increase systemic inflammation. This inflammation does not stay confined to the bloodstream. It travels directly to vulnerable areas such as the knees, hips, and hands. Avocado oil resists this breakdown, protecting the body from a steady stream of inflammatory stress. This stability is particularly important for seniors who cook daily and rely on warm meals. Each time an unstable oil is overheated, it adds another layer of inflammatory burden. Each time avocado oil is used, instead, that burden is reduced. What makes avocado oil especially valuable is its high concentration of monounsaturated fats. These fats help regulate inflammatory signaling pathways and improve cellular function within joint tissues. Cartilage cells rely on healthy fats to maintain their structure and resilience. When the wrong fats dominate the diet, cartilage becomes fragile and more prone to degeneration. When monounsaturated fats are consistently supplied, cartilage integrity improves and joint surfaces move more smoothly. This is one reason people often notice that stiffness eases gradually when their fat intake becomes more balanced. There is also a powerful metabolic effect at play. As we age, insulin sensitivity declines. Elevated insulin levels drive inflammation throughout the body. Avocado oil supports better insulin signaling, which reduces inflammatory cascades that affect joints. This connection is rarely discussed, yet it explains why pain often accompanies weight gain, fatigue, and metabolic slowdown. Improving metabolic health through better fats reduces the inflammatory pressure placed on joints. The result is not instant relief, but steady improvement that builds over time. Avocado oil also enhances nutrient absorption, particularly fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamins A, D, E, and K. These nutrients are essential for bone density, cartilage repair, and immune regulation. Without proper fat intake, even a nutrient-rich diet falls short. When avocado oil is included with vegetables and whole foods, the body absorbs these protective compounds more efficiently. Stronger bones, healthier cartilage, and better immune balance all contribute to joints that function with less pain and more flexibility. Another important aspect is how avocado oil affects circulation. Healthy joints depend on adequate blood flow to deliver oxygen and remove waste products. Inflammation constricts blood vessels and limits this exchange. Avocado oil supports vascular health. allowing blood vessels to remain flexible and responsive. Improved circulation means joint tissues receive what they need to repair and maintain themselves. This often translates into less soreness after activity and quicker recovery after movement. Consistency matters more than quantity. A moderate, regular intake of avocado oil creates a stable anti-inflammatory environment within the body. Placing refined seed oils with avocado oil reduces exposure to inflammatory compounds without requiring drastic dietary changes. Small shift repeated daily can significantly influence how joints feel over months and years. Joint pain is rarely the result of a single cause. It is the outcome of repeated signals sent to the body over time. Avocado oil sends a signal of stability, nourishment, and balance. When that signal is repeated meal after meal, the body responds by reducing inflammation, supporting joint tissues, and restoring a sense of ease in movement that many believe is lost with age. As people grow older, joint pain is often blamed on aging itself. The deeper issue usually lies in metabolic imbalance and chronic low-grade inflammation. Coconut oil, when used correctly and in moderation, plays a distinct role in addressing both. Unlike most cooking oils, coconut oil is rich in medium-chain triglycerides, fats that are processed differently by the body. These fats are rapidly converted into energy rather than being stored, which reduces metabolic strain. A body that efficiently produces energy generates fewer inflammatory signals, and fewer inflammatory signals mean less irritation within the joints. One of the most overlooked contributors to joint pain after 60 is insulin resistance. Elevated insulin levels silently drive inflammation throughout the body, particularly in joints where cartilage and connective tissue are already vulnerable. Coconut oil supports metabolic efficiency by providing a clean fuel source that does not spike insulin levels. When insulin levels remain controlled, the inflammatory cascade that worsens joint stiffness begins to slow. This is why some individuals notice that their joints feel less swollen and less stiff when their metabolic health improves, even without changes in physical activity. Another important aspect of coconut oil is its stability. Many oils commonly used for cooking become unstable when heated, producing oxidized compounds that increase inflammation. Coconut oil remains stable at higher temperatures, which means fewer inflammatory byproducts are introduced into the body during cooking. Each time unstable oils are overheated, quietly add to joint stress. Replacing them with a stable fat reduces this daily inflammatory load. Over time, reduction can translate into joints that feel less irritated and more responsive to movement. Coconut oil also contains compounds that support immune balance. Chronic joint pain is often worsened by immune overactivity, where the body remains in a constant state of alert. This persistent immune response keeps inflammation alive even when there is no injury. Certain fatty acids in coconut oil help regulate immune signaling, encouraging the body to calm down rather than remain in a defensive state. When immune balance improves, joint tissues are given a chance to recover instead of being continuously attacked. There is also a neurological component that is rarely discussed. Pain perception is influenced by inflammation in the nervous system. Medium-chain fats provide efficient energy to brain cells, which supports clearer signaling and reduces exaggerated pain responses. When the nervous system is better fueled, pain signals are processed more accurately rather than being amplified. This does not eliminate pain entirely. It often makes discomfort more manageable and less persistent. Moderation is essential. Coconut oil is supportive, not unlimited. Excess intake can overwhelm the system and counteract its benefits. Used thoughtfully, complements other healthy fats rather than replacing them entirely. A small, consistent amount used for cooking or added intentionally to meals creates metabolic support without excess caloric burden. This balance is where its benefit lies. Coconut oil also indirectly supports joint health by encouraging movement. When energy levels improve and inflammation decreases, people naturally become more active. Movement increases circulation to joints, delivering nutrients and removing inflammatory waste. This creates a positive cycle where better metabolism leads to more movement, and more movement leads to healthier joints. What often feels like a joint problem is frequently a metabolic problem expressing itself through pain. Joint stiffness does not appear overnight, and it does not resolve overnight. It reflects years of signals sent to the body. Coconut oil sends a signal of efficiency, stability, and metabolic support. Repeated consistently, that signal can shift the internal environment away from chronic inflammation. For many seniors, shift is what allows movement to feel possible again rather than painful, restoring confidence in the body's ability to function well beyond the age most people expect. Many seniors are surprised to learn that some of the most common cooking oils can actively contribute to joint inflammation and discomfort. Seed oils such as soybean, corn, sunflower, and canola oil are widely used in households and restaurants alike, often because they are inexpensive and have a neutral taste. What is not commonly known is that when these oils are processed and heated, undergo chemical changes that make them highly inflammatory. These oils are rich in omega-6 fatty acids, which, when consumed in excess relative to omega-3s, promote the production of pro-inflammatory molecules in the body. Chronic exposure to these molecules creates an environment where joint tissues are under constant attack, gradually leading to stiffness, pain, and reduced mobility. When these oils are heated for cooking, the problem intensifies. High heat oxidizes the polyunsaturated fats in these oils, forming free radicals and advanced lipid oxidation products. These compounds are highly reactive and trigger oxidative stress at the cellular level. Oxidative stress accelerates cartilage breakdown and irritates the synovial fluid that cushions joints, making even simple movements uncomfortable. Unlike stable oils such as extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, seed oils break down rapidly under heat, which means that every fried, sauteed, or baked dish prepared with them contributes to a subtle but persistent inflammatory load in the body. Effects are cumulative. It is not a single meal that causes joint pain, but years of repeated exposure. People often notice that certain meals leave them feeling stiff or sore in the hours afterward. The real damage occurs over months and years. High consumption of these oils disrupts the balance between pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory compounds in the body, tipping the scale toward chronic inflammation. Even if a person is otherwise healthy, prolonged use of these oils can accelerate joint degeneration, reduce mobility, and increase the risk of arthritis-related complications. Another critical aspect is the interaction between seed oils and metabolic health. Excess omega-6 intake is associated with insulin resistance, which, as studies have shown, further exacerbates inflammation throughout the body, including in joints. When insulin signaling is impaired, inflammatory chemicals such as cytokines increase, creating a vicious cycle of metabolic dysfunction and joint stress. Simply put, the wrong choice of oil does not just affect the joints directly, it destabilizes the entire internal environment, making joints more susceptible to pain and stiffness over time. Seed oils also interfere with the body's natural antioxidant defenses. While healthy fats like those in olive or avocado oil support antioxidant activity, oxidized seed oils consume antioxidants, leaving the body vulnerable to damage. Over time, this can lead to accelerated cartilage breakdown and reduced joint resilience. Cartilage loses its ability to repair itself efficiently, and connective tissues become weaker, which can make movement painful and limit flexibility. Finally, the widespread use of these oils has created a hidden public health problem. Many seniors unknowingly consume these oils multiple times per day in cooking, packaged foods, and restaurant meals. Each exposure may seem harmless, but the cumulative effect is significant. Switching away from these oils is not about deprivation. It is about replacing a source of chronic inflammation with fats that support healing, lubrication, and metabolic balance. By making this change, seniors can reduce the inflammatory burden on their joints and create an internal environment that favors mobility, flexibility, and long-term joint health. Let me leave you with this. Joint pain is not just about bones, it's about inflammation and metabolic health. The oils you choose daily either calm the fire or fuel it. You don't need expensive supplements. You need better decisions in your kitchen. Change the oil, reduce inflammation, and your joints will thank you. Because aging doesn't mean stopping. It means moving smarter.